Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor. Mark is off tonight. Our sunny Memorial Day is quickly coming to an end. In its wake, a chance of thunderstorms in our forecast. Meteorologist Michelle Boss is first tonight with all the details for us.
Yeah, we may be dealing with a little bit of stormy weather for tomorrow, especially late in the day. But one thing we will get to enjoy for another day is the mild temperatures. We finally got into the 70s this afternoon after seeing highs in the 50s and 60s all weekend. And in fact, the current temperature of 68 degrees was warmer than we were all weekend long. It's 52 in Deer Park and Sandpoint, a little bit cooler out there, but still very mild across the rest of the region. 66 in Moses Lake and just under 70 degrees in Lewiston. Satellite and radar showing quiet weather all across the inland northwest with partly cloudy skies. We will likely see the development of a few showers during the overnight hours, so you may be waking up to just a little bit of wet weather, not really showing up here on our short-term forecast, but it does show that clouds will definitely be on the increase. We do have a chance for some light showers. Oh, this is not the Tuesday graphic, but to skip over that, we do have a chance for some thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon and evening. High temperatures in the mid-70s, but by tomorrow night, cold front moving through will give us much cooler temperatures, breezy conditions, and a few showers on Wednesday. Highs only in the lower 60s.
New tonight, a climber near Beverly had to be rescued after a major fall. Take a look at this. According to the Grant County Sheriff's Office, the man fell between 50 and 90 feet. Deputies aren't sure just how long he was at the bottom of the cliff before Royal Slope fire rescue crews showed up. The climber was airlifted to a trauma center. His conditions unknown at this hour tonight. Let's go to Night Beat for a quick look at the day's top stories. A Raising Cane's may be coming to the Lilac City. The beloved fast food chain filed a building permit for this location on North Newport Highway. The property is vacant now, but used to be the site of a Burger King. But as you can see, it's adjacent to the North Spokane Chick-fil-A. The permit values the project at $1.3 million. Right now, there's no information as to when construction could begin. The application still needs city approval. Two people, one of them a Washington State Patrol trooper, went to the hospital after a crash on I-90 in Spokane Valley this morning. That crash caused traffic to be backed up for several hours. This happened right under the Broadway Avenue overpass. According to WSP, the cars were on westbound I-90 when a medical emergency caused the trooper to make a hard left onto the lane where the other driver was. The two crashed, then the trooper crashed into the barrier while the other driver struck another part of the barrier. Both suffered minor injuries. And a Moses Lake man died after crashing a motorcycle in the North Idaho backcountry yesterday. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office says that rider went off the road and down an embankment on Forest Service Road 437. The rider's been identified as 28-year-old Austin Vickery. The crash is still under investigation, but investigators say speed's believed to be a factor. That was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, go to our website, krem.com. Now, these crashes that we just mentioned, they come at the start of what's known as the 100 deadliest days for teen drivers. AAA data shows between 2010 and 2019, more than half the teen driving-related deaths happened between Memorial Day and Labor Day. During that same time period, more than 7,000 people are killed nationwide. 343 of them were here in Washington. A driving school teacher says teens aren't used to all the dangers that come with driving, and they're more susceptible to speeding, not using their seatbelts, and distractions. Now, according to AAA, teen drivers 16 to 18 years old admitted to having engaged at least one of the following risky behaviors in the past 30 days. They include speeding through a red light, driving while being so tired they had a hard time keeping their eyes open, drinking enough alcohol they may be over the legal limit, or riding in a car with someone who's drunk, driving within an hour after using marijuana. Another one is texting or reading a text. A construction alert for you tonight before tomorrow's commute to work. WashDOT crews will close Wellesley Avenue between Market Street and Freya Street. The City of Spokane also says the North Spokane corridor will be closed in both directions from the Freya Street and Wellesley Avenue interchanges. The other closure starts next Monday with work on the Washington-Stevens Bridge begins. The southbound lanes of Washington Street will close between North River Drive and Spokane Falls Boulevard. City officials encourage drivers to plan ahead, allow for extra time, and look for detour changes. Boeing appears to be on track to meet the FAA's deadline to present assembly line quality control fixes. It has until tomorrow to present its plan. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says Boeing will have to do more to show it can make the necessary safety changes.
That's why Boeing is under a huge amount of scrutiny right now, including from the FAA. The administrator took the extraordinary step of saying that Boeing cannot increase their production until they've demonstrated that they can do it safely.
The FAA ordered the plan in late February after a door plug blew out on a 737 MAX mid-flight. The agency found multiple alleged failures to comply with manufacturing quality control requirements. In national headlines tonight, severe weather this weekend killed more than 20 people, including 2 children. Now that storm system's drenching parts of the Northeast, slowing down returning travelers. More than 5,000 flights have been delayed in major hubs such as Atlanta, Chicago, and New York. CBS's Meg Oliver reports for us tonight on these catastrophic storms.
Shattered homes and debris litter the landscape across Valley View, Texas, after Saturday night's tornado killed 7 people, including 2 children in Cook County. Others barely survived.
The loudest thing I'd ever heard. Never been through anything like that before.
A dark, terrifying scene as an EF2 tornado with 135-mile-per-hour winds ripped through this truck stop.
Right there is the sessions.
Hugo Para shouted for everyone to take shelter in the bathrooms. Mangled metal is all that's left. Today, CBS's Dave Malkoff spoke with Para, who witnesses say saved more than 100 lives.
And I say, let's go to the restrooms. Go, 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 go. And everybody listen and everybody go to the restrooms.
We're in it, I can't do anything. Cover your head.
As that same tornado hit, best friends Valina Gill and Brenda Dance thought they were driving away from the storm, but instead drove right into it.
I feel for everybody else that is injured and don't have homes or clothes.
The powerful series of storms rolled through 7 southern states, packing dangerous winds and hail in some parts, spawning more than 40 reported tornadoes that killed at least 21 people.
I would say that I am 100% sure it's going to be delayed.
The severe storms are now moving here in the Northeast. Frustration brewed as hundreds of flights canceled and delayed at major airports, including Boston, New York, and New Jersey.
We were trying to find any other flight for today. They said no, nothing's going out today because of the weather.
As millions of people try to get home tonight, the airport seeing the most delays and cancellations include Atlanta, LaGuardia, and here at Newark, with more than 100 flights delayed close to 2 hours. Meg Oliver, CBS News, Newark, New Jersey.
And other national headlines tonight, closing arguments in the first criminal trial of a former president start tomorrow. For weeks, the jury heard evidence over whether Donald Trump falsified business records. Prosecutors say he did so nearly 36 times to cover up payments made to Stormy Daniels. That way she wouldn't go public about an alleged affair just weeks before the 2016 election. The judge expects to give the jury its instructions on Wednesday, then deliberations will begin. In Papua New Guinea, it's feared last week's landslide buried as many as 2,000 people. That's the latest number, according to the country's National Disaster Center. On Friday, tons of rock and mud smashed into the homes of locals as they slept. People spent today digging through the collapsed landslide with whatever tools they had. Rescue officials say the situation's unstable and could still be dangerous. Israel's prime minister reportedly called it a tragic mistake, the "it" being the Israeli airstrike, which killed dozens of displaced Palestinians at a tent camp in Rafah. Officials say at least 45 people died, with 200 injured. That attack reportedly happened in a designated safe zone. A UNICEF spokesman describes a worsening situation in Rafah.
I condemn this in the stronger terms. It proves that there is no safe place in Gaza. And these attacks take place immediately after the International Court of Justice ordered it to stop all military activities in Gaza.
Israel says the strike on Rafah killed 2 senior Hamas commanders. This weekend, Hamas launched rockets into Israel. The Israeli military says the rockets were fired from Rafah. That was your KREM News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.